I left and I don't regret it. Welcome to Mika on a Mission, episode 2, The Pivot. Welcome back. If you watched the first episode about my experience in Ghana, how it changed me, and the many questions that I now have about my life. If you haven't watched that may be some good background for this video. So today I'm going to talk about why I left my senior leadership job in public sector and what I'm going to do next. A little bit about me. I am Mika. I am in my mid-30s. I live in the northwest of England. I moved here for a job a couple of years ago. Yes, that very job that I left. I'm an equalities professional with a specialism in race equality and anti-racism. So that's what I spent the last few years of my life doing, building a career in that field, leading race equality programs and trying to get up the career ladder. But alas, the ladder was pulled from under me. Building a career is never simple, and if you're a black woman, it's even more complicated. It never seems that we have a linear path to the top. It's always a winding path with some holes, some breakdowns on the way. How did I end up leaving my job? The simple answer: restructuring. My role was totally eradicated out of the structure. Can you imagine sitting in a meeting full of people where they present the full structures of the organization and everyone knows everyone's role and there's no you?
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Last year, it was announced that there would be massive restructuring in some parts of the public sector, and my organization was one of them. I didn't think that I would leave my role. I was concerned, and rightly so, that my role would change because of the time that we're in now. But I didn't think I would be leaving my role. I just thought I'd see it through, get another role within the organization, and continue on my path. But I did also have concerns around the career trajectory because the levels above me were blocked. So there was still considerations in my head around career progression and where next, because it wasn't actually an upward move for me. There was no direct promotion for me to get. I was still thinking about probably having to move out of that organization to get to the next level. But this was all before the forced change. In February of this year, I put an application in for voluntary redundancy. Let me have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because I can always withdraw the application, but I can't put one in after the deadline is closed. I put the application in and I booked a ticket to Ghana, and that changed everything. But when I went to Ghana and I saw there's just so much more to life and people are surviving and making things happen outside of organization. And yes, while everything isn't hunky-dory, life doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to fight with organizations to see your worth or your value. It would be a matter of staying for the paycheck and taking a generic role, or taking a payout and charting my own course, and I decided to go with the latter. I applied for that role very specifically because it aligned with my goals, with my studies, with my interests, with my personal politics. And for you to then say to me, oh, take this role because it's at the same salary level, or it's not at the same salary level but we'll protect your pay for X amount of time, it's a slap in the face. And because my role was very niche, I wouldn't be matched to a role. I'd have to compete for a role, and I was not about to perform. If I'm gonna have to interview for a role, let me interview for a new role. Let me see something new, do something new, go somewhere new. It was just absurd to me that I've already got a job here but I'm interviewing again for another job. I just opted out. I'll take a career break and I'll go to Ghana and I'll figure it out. That's where I found myself. Was it an easy decision? No. I had a mini existential crisis. I did sit here many days saying, what does this mean? If you're not Mika, the equalities professional, who are you? What sense of purpose do you have now? Are you going to get another job at the same level, at the same pay, or are you going to have to start over? It's taking you so long to get here. Suppose you don't get a job in time. What are you going to do? How are you going to pay your bills? Like, all of that went through my mind. But I knew that I had a cushion. I have some self-belief, I have some self-esteem, I know my worth, and I just had to hope it would all work out. It's worked out thus far and it will continue to. I left and I don't regret it. We have to do what's best for us, and we shouldn't fall for the organizational sweet talk of, we're gonna try to do the best we can for you, we're a family, we're people first. They are organization first, executive leadership first, budgets first. You hear me? So Mika on a mission. What are the missions? I have 4 missions at the moment, and I guess guess YouTube is like 1.5. First mission is my consultancy. So about a month after I left my role, I launched my consultancy, packaging some of the tasks that I did inside of the organization for sale to other organizations. And I'm still working through that. I am doing the networking, making the calls, reaching out to contact, going to events to put myself out there. And God knows it is hard. I am an introvert. Or should I say I'm an ambivert? But in professional spaces, I'm quite an introvert. It's been quite the challenge for me to put myself out there. Even this YouTube is a challenge to put myself out there. So I'm growing the putting myself out there muscle through all of this. I'll be growing that over the next couple months to see how it goes, investing my time and my energy, posting, talking about it. I'll be talking about it here as well. Stay tuned to see how I build a consultancy from scratch. I've always wanted to do a bit of consultancy, but I wanted to do it while I was still in a job. I kind of wanted work to come to me.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
I don't know what planet I was living on, but now I realize that's probably not going to happen. You got to go to the work, girl. I'm hoping that at some point in time that becomes one of my main income streams, because I've found that the work that I do needs to have a level of separation between yourself and the organization so that you can maintain objectivity without becoming a part of the organizational furniture, as well as kind of protect yourself from the very things you're trying to help the organization change. That leads us to the second mission, study. I think since last year I've been working on a research brief because I wanted to go back to school. I'm maybe about 50% there and the deadline is in a few days. Going to Ghana has made me really reconsider that, because it means if I enter a program for 3 to 5 years now, I won't have the flexibility to go back and forth. It's a financial investment. I don't want to start it and not be able to finish it. All up in the air at the moment. Research topic that I am interested in is still something I care about. It may be a matter of thinking about how we create knowledge outside of the academic institution. Yes, it's probably not going to come with the credibility and kudos that it would if you are backed by a university. How do we still maintain a curiosity, engage with research, engage with academic articles and journals and discourse, and use that to enrich us, to ensure that we're more knowledgeable on a topic and are synthesizing that into new thoughts and new knowledge? There is something around maybe thinking about how I do it independently. Does it mean just continuing to engage with the resources and building that into my consultancy though, so that it's very evidence-based and academically and theoretically grounded? The third mission is a job. Do I go back to work? I have been applying for jobs since I left my role. There are not many jobs out there that tickle my fancy, and the money is not always that great either. So I've applied to the ones that seems like they would either meet my salary expectations and pique my interest, or they're an organization that I feel like I can make some change in, or some of them have just been, I think I like this work and I'm happy to take a salary hit for now. I need flexible working, hybrid or work from home, 4-day weeks or 9-day fortnights. It makes an immense difference to your well-being, especially if you work in a heavy topic area like I do. At the end of the day, money have a make. I need to buy food and perfume, but I think I'll be returning under a different guise, thinking about what purpose work fulfills for me. I will not be thinking that work is my purpose. I will also be under no impressions that there is any such thing as job security anymore. Much like the unicorns, it's a myth. Understanding that the only security you have is the one that you provide for yourself. An organization is not going to provide that for you. So making the best decisions for me financially, professionally, and mentally. And the last mission, of course, we come all the way back to Ghana. If Ghana is to become a meaningful part of my life, how do I get there? Do I really want to do that? What does it mean logistically for me to move a part of my life there? Somewhere to live. I need somewhere with good infrastructure and roads. What do I need to be thinking about buying here in the UK to ship there if I want to spend some time there? And that will be fun because we can go shopping. Come with me to shop for Ghana. Will it be 3 months? Will it be 6 months? Will it be a year? Also thinking very seriously about how I finance that trip. Build the consultancy up and use that to finance my trip. Do I think about a venture over there to test its feasibility and scalability, and if that's also something that can be done? Lots of thinking, lots of planning, but what I have given myself is a bit of a runway over the next 12 months to see all of these things come to fruition in some shape or form, but leaving space for them to develop naturally. The greatest mission is moving out of the or space into the and space. I think I'm in the part of my life now where, much like how people have portfolio careers and they do a bit of this and a bit of that, I think I want a portfolio life, so to speak. So yes, consultancy, and yes, the UK, and yes, Ghana, and yes, some study, fulfilling things. I think the linear life of study, work in a job, go up the ladder. We know that that's dead. But study, work in a job, move to the next 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 job. Maybe that's not the thing right now either. Maybe it is thinking about how you can fulfill some of your desires in different ways to create a composite picture of happiness. I want a bit of everything, and I just need to think about how I make that all work. I want the one life that I have to be the best that I can have. If you too are piecing it all together, or if you're rebuilding your life from scratch or from a platform, if you're remodeling it, so you're just putting a lick of paint over it to start something a bit new, so a side hustle or a hobby, or if you're doing a big move like moving to another country, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to meet people or be in community with people who are also just figuring it out, understanding that figuring it out is a lifelong journey. This is my journey of figuring it out. So if you want to come with me, do like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon.